Welcome back to Quiet Minds. So, today I'm diving into a topic that might seem like an oxymoron at first, and it's how to be charismatic as an introvert. And I know, right? Charisma and introversion, they don't always seem to go hand in hand, but trust me, they absolutely can. In fact, some of the most charismatic people I know are introverts. So, if you're an introvert who's ever thought, charisma? That's not me. This episode is for you. So, let me start with a question. What does charisma mean to you? Because a lot of people think charisma is about being loud, the center of attention, or someone who walks into a room and immediately owns it. And while that can be a form of charisma, it's not the only way to be magnetic. And in today's episode, I'm going to share with you how introverts can tap into their unique form of charisma, the kind that doesn't require being the loudest or the most outgoing person in the room, but instead, it comes from being genuine, thoughtful, and deeply present. So let's get right into it. And the first things first, let's debunk the myth that introverts can't be charismatic. And charisma isn't about being the life of the party or always knowing what to say. At its core, charisma is about making people feel seen and valued. It's about connection. And if there's one thing introverts excel at, it's meaningful connection. And introverts have this incredible ability to focus deeply on the person they're with. Whether you're in a one on one conversation or even a small group of people, your presence as an introvert can feel intense and special. And when we're really in the moment, paying attention and listening carefully, people feel that. And they feel understood and appreciated and heard. And that's incredibly magnetic. Now let's talk about active listening. And this is something that comes naturally to a lot of introverts, but it's also one of the key traits of charisma. And charismatic people make others feel important by listening intently, by asking thoughtful questions, and showing genuine interest. And as introverts, we tend to prefer deeper conversations over small talk. So we already have a knack for diving into meaningful topics. And when you actively listen, like really listen, you're showing the person that you value what they're saying. And guess what? That's where true charisma begins. And think about the last time someone made you feel like you were the only person in the room, like your thoughts and feelings truly mattered. That's the power of being present, and it's a strength that introverts harness. Now, here's another way introverts can be charismatic, and it's through authenticity. And as introverts, we tend to be introspective and very self aware. We're not likely to put on a facade or wear a mask or try to be someone we're not just to fit in. That's just not who we are. But this is one of the reasons people find introverts so refreshing. When you're unapologetically yourself, people are drawn to that. There's something incredibly magnetic about someone who is comfortable in their own skin, someone who knows who they are and doesn't try to pretend to be someone else. And being an introvert allows you to embrace that authenticity. You don't need to force yourself into extroverted behaviors to be charismatic. Instead, you can lean into your own unique, quiet confidence. And when you're genuine, people can sense it and they'll be drawn to you by your authenticity. Now, let's take a quick moment to acknowledge that charisma doesn't have to mean being the most talkative person in the room. In fact, introverts often stand out because they don't feel the need to dominate conversations. Instead, they choose their words carefully, making what they say even more impactful. And think about it, when you're someone who doesn't speak just for the sake of filling silence, but instead waits until you have something meaningful to contribute, people notice that. And it creates a kind of intrigue. And when you speak, it just carries more weight because your thoughtful and self considered input can leave a lasting impression. Now, let's talk about body language. One of the biggest misconceptions about charisma is that it's all about what you say, but nonverbal communication plays a huge role too. As an introvert, you might not always be the most expressive with your words, but your body language can still speak volumes. And simple things like making eye contact, smiling warmly, or even leaning in slightly when someone is speaking can make you seem even more engaged and charismatic. And remember, charisma isn't about being flashy or overly animated. It's about making people feel comfortable and connected with you. And if you're naturally more reserved, that's okay. Just be mindful of your body language and make sure it conveys openness, warmth, and attentiveness. Even subtle gestures like nodding while someone is talking or maintaining a relaxed posture can make a big difference in how you're perceived. Another key to introverted charisma is emotional intelligence. As introverts, we tend to be more in tune with our own emotions, and often we're sensitive to the emotions of others as well. And this emotional awareness allows us to navigate social situations with empathy and compassion, two traits that make people feel truly connected to you. Being able to read the room, sense when someone is feeling uncomfortable or excited, and adjust your approach accordingly is a quiet form of charisma that introverts naturally excel at. People are drawn to those who can understand and respond to their emotions in a thoughtful way, and that's something introverts can do almost instinctively. Here's another way to think about it. Introverts can be charismatic by being intentional. We might not be the loudest or most talkative, but when we do engage, it's often with purpose and thoughtfulness. And whether it's a compliment, a well timed joke, or a quiet moment of empathy, introverts have this ability to make small gestures feel significant. And that's charisma. It's about the energy you bring into the space, even if it's quiet and subtle. I also want to touch on quiet confidence. And this is something I've come to realize as an introvert. And it's that you don't need to be outgoing or extroverted to exude confidence. Because quiet confidence is about being secure in who you are. So even if you're not the loudest voice in the room, it's the calm, steady presence that people gravitate toward because it feels grounded and real. You don't have to pretend to be someone you're not to make an impact. Your calm demeanor, your thoughtful nature, and your ability to be present in the moment. These are all incredibly charismatic traits. And when you embrace them fully, people will be drawn to your quiet strength. So, to recap, being charismatic as an introvert is about active listening, being authentic, using subtle but powerful body language, tapping into your emotional intelligence, and embodying your quiet confidence. So, it's not about becoming an extrovert or changing who you are. It's about leveraging the strengths you already have as an introvert and to create meaningful magnetic connections. If you're an introvert, you already have everything you need to be charismatic. And charisma doesn't require you to change yourself or act in ways that feel unnatural. It's about leaning into who you are and using your natural gifts and your ability to listen, to connect deeply, and to be present. I hope today's episode has helped you see that charisma isn't limited to extroverts and that you as an introvert can absolutely be magnetic in your own unique way. So thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. If it resonated with you, feel free to share it with someone who might need a little boost of introverted confidence. And as always, I love hearing from you, so drop a comment below or connect with me on Instagram at SoulLiveBerry. Until next time, remember to embrace your quiet charisma and stay true to who you are in your beautiful heart of hearts.